For you, Karen.
I think I got it. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Monday morning, and I love it. We're just almost right at the top of the hour. We're going to get started. We call this call our Monday morning miracle call. And the reason we call it that is because some of the things that these patches help our bodies do and getting better, healthier, younger, just seem like a miracle. But I do want to remind you all, we are backed by very robust science. So we call it the Monday morning miracle call, but it is all science. And we're going to get started. We do have Jerry's going to come on first in a minute, but I want to first tell you that we are not here we're not trying to replace your doctor. Stay with your doctor. We don't claim to cure, heal, or diagnose any named disease. We just use these wonderful patches and the technology, the amazing technology in them, to let our bodies be in the best space they can be to heal themselves and get as healthy as possible. And as we're going, let's make it kind of short. Say how it was, what happened, what patch did you use, and how you are now. Try to keep it down so that we have room for more to share, but make sure you include all the really important details. And we're going to start today with Jerry, and she is actually in the hospital, you guys. So send her all love, prayers, and well wishes. And Jerry, come on in. Don't forget to unmute.
Yeah, I'm unmuted, but sorry, I'm in a hospital gown, so not on camera. I am that person that told everybody to keep patching because I don't react to the patches. I've been on them almost a year, and I'm getting results, but I'm that person. It takes a while. Well, Thursday I tripped and landed in my driveway on the cement on my left hip and fractured my pelvis in 2 places. The pain, I can't tell you about it. Was able to, I had a phone in my hand and my neighbor got over, they called the ambulance, and I didn't know how I was going to get in without screaming, and because they had this long claw they were going to put under both sides of me and lift me. And then I just said to my neighbor, and I told her to run into my house, and she did find my patches. And so I'm fumbling there, and there was like 3 or 4 neighbors, the 2 medics, they're looking around me and they're wanting to go. I says, you got to give me a minute. So I got the ice waves, and I'm slowly taking each of them out, and I'm putting them all the way down my pelvis, going to the side as far as I can reach without too much pain, tried to get it over. I think I used about 4 sets of them, but I could actually feel a little bit of the calming. And I says, just give me 30 more seconds. And they waited. And then I says, okay. And they put the claw under me, lifted me, put me on the gurney, and I didn't have to scream. I was okay. And I got to the hospital and got a lot of customers. Everybody's saying I have a testimony. Well, I'd rather have forgone this to get my testimony and customers, but I'm in the emergency room lying there, and the nurse is there saying, what can I give you? You should be screaming. What's going on? I says, I don't have any pain. And as long as I was lying straight, and that, I mean, yeah, rolling over was a problem. I'm not saying that didn't cause pain, but have not taken anything for pain. The one night, because of how they handled me, it's a long story. They wanted to give me morphine. I says, no. And then she had the nerve to say, well, drugs heal you. I says, they don't heal you. And so after I got back in because of what happened and lied down and got flat, and I'm just getting along. I'm physical therapy now. I have a walker. The way it fractured and that, the one was fragmented, but they did a lot of CAT scans and that, and they said it's weight bearing. So I'm trying to start the walking because, hey, I want to make it to convention. And my goal is to be walking in 3 weeks.
Well, we're all there with you. And that's awesome. I can just see these ambulance people wanting to take you. Wait a minute. I haven't patched yet. And
I think they thought I was crazy.
Well, they probably did, but I'm glad you did it. And thank you for that story. That is wonderful, Jerry. Yay. We're all sending our best wishes for great, speedy healing. And that's one thing I love about these. And one thing about the patches, you guys, you're never really going to be able to believe what they do until you experience them. Experience is the thing that really tells you. So guys, if you can put your hand up, I would love to see who wants to come on next and bless our community with your story. how you were, what you did, how you are now. We really want to hear it. And it looks like I have Donald and then Maria. Maria, excuse me, Maria, I said it wrong. Okay, Donald, come on in.
Hi, everybody. I'm relatively new, and it's been about a month now, just a few days over, on the patches X39 and glutathione every day. And the one thing I noticed that I didn't even write down in my little health inventory before I started was I have had for about over a year now a rash that comes and goes on my arms, and it typically flares up when I'm out in the hot, humid weather and doing something like mowing the lawn or just being active outside. I have a dehumidifier in the house, so normally inside it's okay, but something about the hot, humid weather causes that to flare up. Well, I held off on saying it worked until I knew for sure it did, because it was really hot and humid, and I was mowing the lawn outside, and it did not flare up, that rash on my arm. So that's just a little first taste of what these good patches are doing for me.
Awesome. And there you go. You experienced it and you know. That is awesome. Thank you, Donald. And next is Maria. Come on in. So good to see you. Don't forget to unmute. Well, Maria, are you coming in? Let's go with Heidi, and then I think that's Heidi. Is that whoever's next there on with your hand up? And then Maria, we'll try you again.
Thank you so much, Judy. This is Heidi Miller coming here from Pocatello, Idaho. I wanted to share a quick patching story about IceWave as well. And I've got my daughter here who actually witnessed it. She was my assistant as we were doing a patching at my very first preferred customers on Saturday. So I'm way excited. But anyway, back to the story. IceWave is what we used. And I actually used a previously worn on my upper foot from June 24th, previously worn patch that I put in my first aid kit in my car. And she had actually called me and said, Heidi, my left knee is swollen. My back is hurting so bad. And she rattled off all these other conditions and said that she was going to be going in to having some steroid injections on Wednesday. And so I immediately called Michelle Niels. Michelle Niels told me to get an Eon patch and an IceWave patch. And all I had was my IceWave patch in my glove box. And I went to her home. My daughter and I, we went there, we showed up, and she stood up, and I put it on her pocket of her left side, just below her pain spot, the tan patch, tan colored patch. And then I put the white one just about 5 inches up above. And then she says, oh, I feel that, but move it over here. And so we moved it 2 inches, and she sat down, and 10 minutes later, she stood back up and she goes, oh my gosh, I just stood back up to go take my dog out. I don't feel anything, Heidi. And then what did she say after that? She said something after that, Sophia, and I couldn't remember because I was like writing stuff down. What did she say? You don't remember? She had her dog and she went out and it fell off, and she goes, I'm feeling it again. And I go, hold on, let me see where they're at. And it had fallen off while she took her dog out. So she felt it. And then she had the pain come back immediately. And I went, we got to find that patch. It's outside. So we found it right by her door. I put it back on her and she sat down, and it was great. So we put X39 on her knee because that's all I had. I sold her some retail one. Anyway, so IceWave is amazing. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. And you see, you have to experience it to believe it. It's so awesome. Sorry about this blue thing. That's my stylist, you guys. So awesome. Hey, Maria can't get her phone unmuted. Gregory, is there any way you guys can unmute her? She said she isn't able to do it. She keeps getting some message. I couldn't read it all because it's on my phone. Is that possible? Gregory, you're muted too.
Yeah, I'm muted too. No, I don't think I'm able to do that remotely to unmute her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then let's go. I think Tammy, then sun shower, and keep trying, Maria. I really want to hear from you.
Yeah, and Maria, otherwise maybe you could write it in the chat.
Yeah. And then maybe
Yeah.
Helen or somebody could read it. I can't get to the chat while I'm hosting. Very easy.
But maybe
Awesome.
instead of hitting the mute button, if she tries Alt A, that's what I use, it might do it that way for her.
Okay. Thank you. You were also helpful if we know anything, right? Okay, let's go. Tammy, come on in. And then Maria, if you get unmuted, just say something and we'll know.
So I'm fairly new, like 2 weeks, but I patched my mom right away. But this to me was amazing. So she doesn't have a lot of patches. So she's been having really bad sinus pressure. So much it gives her headaches, she goes to bed. So the other day I wasn't there, but I had gotten her Eon because she has inflammation in her hands, using it for that. Well, I said, well, why don't you put the Eon on your sinuses, like right here? I told her to put them like on her cheeks. And she did that. And she did it at nighttime. And she said when she woke up, like she just started draining and the pressure was gone. So she did that for 2 days and it like got her draining and got the sinus pressure to go away. And she was pretty excited. And I thought that was pretty amazing.
That is exciting. That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, yep. Experience is everything. All right. Sun shower, and then Kira, then Chris, then Stacy. Yay. We got a good lineup coming.
Good morning, everybody. It's so great to hear all these great stories and the magic that seems to happen. So 2 days ago, I had a woman over here. Such a funny story. And the way things come together is kind of amazing. So a lady that does mobile pet grooming came to my home, cut my cat's claws, right? And talked to me about her business. It's new and she needs a logo, and I do logos and all kinds of artsy stuff. So I said, well, come back over, a couple days. And she did. We talked a little bit about the logo and she let me know she was in pain. It was just starting, right? And it's every day. And for a couple of years now, and it goes down, I don't know what I'm supposed to call this, but at the lower back part, and it goes shooting down your leg. Well, she says at the beginning of the day, it's sort of okay, but then it gets worse and worse and worse. So you have to know what I put on the lady. Yeah, ice wave. And she goes, I said, what's your pain level right now? And she goes, it's really not bad. It's like a 2. And I go, oh, good. And so let's see how it goes. And within a few minutes, she goes, there's no pain. And then, we were together maybe a half hour or more. And at the end, she goes, that pain is still gone and it should be increasing.
Oh, nice.
Done. Just another miracle.
Just another little miracle from our wonderful patches. Thank you. That is a great share too. Okay, I think we're Kira, Stacy, or is it Chris? Stacy. Hope you guys remember. And Maria's back too, so we'll try her next after Kira. Yep, you're unmuted now.
Okay, my thing shows I'm muted, but you hearing me?
You're good, yeah.
Okay. I went to basically spend a month with some friends in northern Italy, and it was a pretty remote area, but I went with my patches, of course, and also a few of my essential oils as well. And I was getting bitten by mosquitoes from the get-go. And I was staying in a little cabin, and make a really long story short, I picked up COVID while I was there. So I had to go into isolation, and I went into isolation in another cabin. And there in that cabin, there were not only mosquitoes around because it was in a wooded area, there were spiders and ants and crawling things that all decided that I was breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them. I was their meal of choice. And I ended up having so many bites that, especially on my left arm, that my left arm was red and swollen. And I used Eon and X39 and X49, and I put them directly on the swollen arm. And it took a few days, but the swelling actually went down. And that was in, let's see, I came back at the end of June. I came back on June 24th, 25th. And my arm is back to normal. Now, I
Wow.
had probably close to 150 to 200 bites cumulatively. And most of them were on my left arm. And when it stayed swollen for several days, and mind you, I'm also isolating because I have COVID. So I've got all this stuff going on. And literally, by the end of the month, it was returning to normal appearance and normal feeling. Now I do have I made an appointment to have my blood work done, because at my age, I'm really concerned about that much venom in my bloodstream. So I do have an appointment at the end of this week. And when I first came back, I went and had the blood drawn right away. But the bottom line is that the patches were very instrumental in helping reduce the swelling on my arm.
That is awesome. Thank you. To me, that's the stuff nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bless your heart. Well, thank you for sharing. And Maria, let's see if we can sneak you in here, and then we'll go to Chris and Stacy.
Okay, thank you. Hi,
Anyway.
Karen. Thank you. I had to
Hi.
go back out and come back in again, but that worked. So nice to see everybody. And I have a couple of amazing Eon stories. So a couple weeks ago, you were here. We had a wonderful, fantastic meetup in Santa Fe, New Mexico, to discuss about patches and share. And one of the gals from Albuquerque brought her daughter, and that lady's little 6-year-old grandson had been having really abnormal extreme temper tantrums, and they put the Eon on the back of his shirt, and they said within a day his temper tantrums just decreased to like a normal child instead of some screaming maniac. They didn't say it like that, but that was really cool. And then just a few days ago, I heard from another friend whose dogs are both terrified of lightning and fireworks. And so her vet sent her some patches, and they were Eon, and I think there's mostly Eon patches. And she put those on the dog. Now, she did have also some calming drops, some kind of homeopathic thing, but the dogs both just, fireworks, who cares? And they off they went and snuggled in their beds. And then last night I had, I do a kind of a muscle checking thing to see which meridians I might want to put the patches on. So I put a Silent Night and an Eon on my gallbladder 21 points. I just thought, well, gallbladder, that'd be a good one. And I was checking that was positive. I had the best night's sleep, and I woke up feeling totally refreshed. So those are some very interesting stories. Thank you for letting me share.
They're awesome. And thank you. And yes, I was there when she was sharing about the temper tantrum boy. And that was awesome. So thank you, Maria. I'm glad you went out and came back in and got everything working. It's awesome. Okay, let's go with Chris and then Stacy and then Susan.
Good morning, everybody from Bend, Oregon. I have a distributor whose mother has been losing her vision from the center of her eye out. And at first she started out, she was kind of hit and miss with the patches. And a few months ago, I took over ordering for her, and we were using X39. And then on a sleep patch, we were using the glutathione and the Eon. And then she started worrying about money. About what she was spending. So she cut back on the X39, and then she cut back on the Eon, and she was just using the glutathione. And And she just told me about this less than a month ago. And so we started rotating the patches. And she went on Saturday, she called me up and said that she had gone to her eye doctor on Friday, and she's in mid-80s, and that her eye condition has stabilized, and he is very curious about the patches.
Woo! That's awesome.
Isn't it?
Oh, that's
great.
fabulous. That's why we call it the Monday Morning Miracle.
Right.
Call, because it feels like a miracle, doesn't it? Thank
It
you
does.
for doing that. Wow. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Okay, Stacy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so this is an update from my story, my dental work story back in May. It would not get better. I had a filling done, removed, and then a new one put in, and then a crown. I could not get rid of the pain. I was trying every patch I possibly could think of, just directly on it, on the side, wherever, and medication wasn't even helping. So I just kept dealing with it and dealing with it. And I came home. I was in Las Vegas with my dad. So I came home and I tried the Eon, and I was like, yes. So I testified that it helped, because it did. Well, then it went back to the pain. So I was praying, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to use? So I started using the X39 right here on that vagus nerve during the day. And then when I took that off, I put the carnosine on at night. I did this for 3 days, and I've had no more pain. And this is, I've been pain free for a month now.
Wow.
So just, I kept hearing the vagus nerve. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that. So I did it, and it worked. So.
That is awesome. And that's the thing is, the patches always do something, but sometimes we have to use our intuition and move them around to get them to do everything we want them to do. So that's awesome. Thank you, Stacy. And I think we had one more. We have Susan, and then there's no more hands yet. So you can start putting your hands up if you haven't told your story yet. Come on in, Susan.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm going to go on video for the share. The other day, my cousin's husband and I patched in a Zoom meeting with his cousin, who was in horrific pain. It would have to be described as like a level 15, all these herniated discs, nerve issues. I mean, just really, really complex. And the bottom line is I was running a little late getting on the call. Well, Ted started the patching. We both set intentions, by the way, before we patch people. We set very clear intention to connect and get, that which we call divine sources guidance. And so by the time I got on the call 5 minutes late, this woman was smiling and laughing. She was completely out of pain. She texted us later that she was able to vacuum and clean her house for the first time in a long, long time. So this is such a joyful project that we're on. Thank you, Lifeway.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it is so much fun. And now it looks like we have Stephanie, and then Anne Moreau, and then Gregory or Robin. I think it's Robin. Okay, Stephanie, come on in.
Okay, this Stephanie, I really don't have a testimony. I just have a question. I don't know if anyone can answer it. I have a broken toe. Anything I can use for a broken toe?
Who wants to do that one?
I'll answer that one. I did mine. I broke mine in May, and I did Ice Wave on the top and bottom.
Okay. I'll try it. And with X39.
Absolutely. On the neck and the belly. I put X39s on both places while I was broken.
Oh, so toe and navel.
Not with Ice Wave. Ice Wave I just did on the top of my foot and the underside. And then I did X39 on my neck and my belly just because I felt like I needed it.
Have it.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
And I know when I had my broken shoulder, arm, and my surgery, I used those patches, and sometimes I just had quite the bunches of patches on, and it really helped a lot, and it healed fast. So awesome. All right. Let's see. I don't see Ann anymore, but Ann, did you still have your hand up? Ann,
Yeah, yes.
Come on, come on in.
Lisa Farron is with me and she's going to share her story.
Awesome.
Hi. Well, I had a fight with a snowblower and the snowblower won. And after that, I had a lot of shoulder pain and I couldn't do normal things like brush my hair, brush my teeth, get dressed because I was in excruciating pain. And I went to see a chiropractor and I was doing physical therapy for 9 months. And she finally said, Lisa, you need to go and see an orthopedic surgeon. So I had an MRI done and found out I had 4 tears in my shoulder and a bicep tendon that was ready to snap. So the surgeon said to me, there is no way you're going to take care of this without getting surgery. I didn't want to go that route. And luckily, it was just about then that we started doing LifeWave. And I started using X39 and Eon. And I used IceWave on really excruciating days. And the pain went away. And I can do anything with my arms now with no pain.
Wow.
And no surgery.
Wow. That is fabulous. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That is awesome. Okay. I think Robin and then Kathleen. And then
Why don't we
Kate.
happy for, well, I'll just go with the testimonials. Excuse me 1 second. Mute for a sec so I clear my voice. 2 testimonials. One is a reminder to carry your first aid kit with you at all times. I was at the dog nutrition store with the shopping cart outside and hit a bump and the cart whacked really hard into my shin.
Ow.
It was really a big owie. And I immediately pulled out X39 and Eon, put it right on. I mean, it was, I could almost watch it swelling and discoloring. It happened so fast. And it was amazing how, and Gregory has a whacked his shin story on his birthday from a few years ago. It was incredible. So it's healing really fast. And then I want to make sure everyone noticed the post that Judy Friesen put in our Facebook group, because it's one of those major miracles. Not that there's any order of miracles, but an 83-year-old woman who'd been on dialysis for 3 years was told by her nephrologist that she no longer needs it.
Wow.
I mean, that's a major wow. And of course, we can't make any promises to people, but I've heard stories in the past about people reducing their dialysis, but no one getting taken off it. And they're monitoring her blood every week and her blood tests every week for a while to make sure she's stable. But she's 83. That's first miracle. Second one, she's been on dialysis 3 years, and people typically when they go on, they never go off. And this is very, very exciting. And tonight we get to celebrate 2 new directors.
Yay. Oh my gosh. That is, and you're right, that is major. That's a big deal. I had heard of less often and fewer hours, but I hadn't heard of anybody getting off. So that is a huge share. Thank you so much. Yeah. Wow, that's why we call it the Monday Morning Miracle Call. But just remember, it's science. Okay, so we're going to have Kathleen, Kate, and CJ. Come on in, Kathleen. Don't forget to unmute.
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, this is just kind of an afterthought, or not even an afterthought. I thought about the broken toe. I broke my toe about 6 weeks ago, and I actually put the IceWave top and bottom. And then once the pain, the really bad pain went away, I started putting an X39 right on the toe. And due to stubbing it a couple more times after the initial one, because you know, when it's bigger than it should be, it's in the way. So I stubbed it about 3 more times, and I mean, the pain was just crazy. So I was putting X39 right on it, and then IceWave top and bottom. And then after I stopped using the X39 right on it, I started using glutathione right on it. So
awesome.
It's
Awesome.
still a little tender, but it's doing much better.
That's awesome. And toes can take forever, it seems like, to heal without the patches. So good for you.
Moral of the story, don't go barefoot.
Oh, thank you so much for that, because
I
yes,
totally agree.
yes, I stubbed it, and then I stubbed it 2 more times, and that did me in. Thank you.
Okay, who's next, Karen?
I think it's me. This is Kate, and it's a
Okay.
broken toe story. I just wrapped that little toe. It wasn't the little toe, my toe to the brother next to it, slapped an ice, not an ice wipe, but an X39 right on top of my foot by the toe on the top, and it never hurt again. It came back to normal color, and it was as if it had not broken at all. I never had to baby it.
Wow.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. You can't ask for better than that, can you?
Oh,
No.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank all of you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
hear
think
that a lot, don't we?
it's me next. Okay.
Yes, CJ, come on.
Yes, Carol, for you, because some know me as CJ, some know me as Carol. Anyways, this is positive. This is not a injury or anything, but the age group we're in, you know how our eyebrows grow. Well, I'm starting to have them groomed at a place because I can't see that well to take care of my eyebrows as well. And they're getting thicker and they're growing like overnight over an inch in length. I have to have them trimmed. So you never know what you're going to get in the way of beneficial. So my hair is growing faster and my eyebrows are wanting to grow. So you guys got to watch your eyebrows. Amusing.
That's a fun one. I know, like, right? We didn't always want everything we got, but that's awesome. That means you're healthier. Fabulous. All right. And then we have Tammy. Come on in, Tammy.
I had my hand up a couple of times. It just kept getting taken down. I wasn't sure.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So I had a question and I had a testimonial. So my dad has medication he takes, so his arms get beat up really bad. And we put an X39 on him, and within a day, the purplish look on both of his arms started fading, and his arms started looking like more normal. And my mom's already wearing them, and she's super mobile now. Also, the question is, I have a friend who patched, and we were gonna talk to her husband, but he's on treatments for leukemia for 2.5 more years, and he broke his back. So I didn't know if we could use Eon and Ice Wave on him, since they aren't stem cell patches. And
yeah,
I wasn't sure. So I wanted to ask because I knew we couldn't do any of the stem cell patches on him.
If you can't do the stem cell on him, you should be able to use the other ones. Maybe not glutathione. Is it what you're going for is not too much like immunity and all of that. You don't want to boost their immunity, right?
Right. So Eon and Ice Wave, and I was thinking about carnosine, but I wasn't sure.
I think those should be fine, but would somebody else like to address that? Because it is important.
Is it the light? Somebody just said they can't use the patches because of the light. I thought it was the stem cells.
No, it isn't the light.
Dr. Tom's on the line. He could probably answer that from one of his presentations if he is unmutable.
We'll see if he comes in. He may be busy. Anyway, I would like maybe double check that a little more, make sure you get, but from what I've heard is the ones you shouldn't do are the stem cell and the glutathione, because it really boosts your immunity a lot.
Okay.
This is Ann, the nurse.
Hi, Ann.
Thank you, Ann.
So I'm just going to add to that your X39 and X49 are your stem cell patches, and those are the ones to avoid. And yes, Karen, you're right, the glutathione, because it is an antioxidant, your master antioxidant, and so antioxidants stop cell damage. And when you're doing chemo, you are destroying all cells. But the other patches are perfectly fine.
Okay. And just put him right where his pain is. He fractured his back in 3 places and can't even sleep in his bed. He sleeps in a recliner and he's 48.
Yeah, you can put him in that area because that's where the pain is. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
So, and I know some people have a little time crunch for you guys, but I have Tammy with her hand still up. Go kind of quick if you can, and then make sure you catch tonight's Monday night and you'll get all the announcements.
Okay, I'll go quick. I just had another story. I felt like I shared quick so everybody else could share, and I didn't share anything about myself. But my husband came in and he also told me something. But one thing, I was splitting wood with my husband this week, and it's an electric splitter, but sometimes the wood would hit my ankles. So Saturday morning I was doing yoga and I looked down and I had 2 bruises on my ankles, and I'm like, what the heck? How'd that happen? So I hadn't put my X39 on, so I did in the morning. And then by that night I went to look and the bruises were not there anymore. They had dissipated that quickly, which I was really amazed. And then the other quick one was yesterday we spent most of the day driving and on a ferry and then sitting in a seminar, and we wore our patches, both my husband and I, and then we came back and it was like a 2.5-hour ride. And we got up this morning and he's like, I can't believe everything we did and all the driving I did. And he felt energized. He didn't feel sore. None of our backs hurt. And that was just from wearing X39 and X49. So just wanted to share that with you as well.
That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And then Linda and Mike have hand up. I don't know which one. Can you go real quick? And then we'll get back to Robin and Gregory. And this has been great. You guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you for all the sharing.
This is Linda.
Linda, thank you.
I just wanted to share with the lady who just shared the dental work pain. I couldn't even talk before this meeting started because my TMJ was so bad. And she shared and I put the patches on right away and my pain has reduced probably from a +10 to down to a 2.
Wow.
So I'm going to try. She said carnosine for night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I did not get
Awesome.
her name, but I could kiss you right now.
See, that's how we learn from each other. And that's why you're sharing. You might think it's not important, but it's going to help somebody else. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Robin and Gregory. I'm sorry we went over, but I'm actually really glad because you had lots of good stories. So
another great call. Thank you so much, Karen. And good morning, everyone. I just wanted to put out a last reminder. Those of you that are going to be joining us physically at the conference coming up in less than 3 weeks. It's pretty amazing. Woohoo, or a little more than 3 weeks. I guess 3 weeks from this Thursday, we'll all be together, or many of us will be. And we want all of you to have your free, activate your stem cells name tag. And this is the last call for name tags. So if you haven't registered, go to the newsletter or one of the notices that Robin has sent out, click on it and just get your name and city state entered, because we're going to be placing the order for the name tags in the next couple of days. And so last call for name tags, and we'll see you on the call tonight. We got a couple of new directors who are going to be sharing some secrets to success. And by then we'll probably have more announcements coming out. And Robin's pointing out, oh yeah. And Shine the conference is almost sold out. It's not too late to make a decision. It only takes one moment to make a decision. A few more moments, you could order your ticket. And then the angels and God will work the rest out. Okay. But be there with us if you can, physically, if you can't, virtually. And we're encouraging everyone to do little watch parties together with your group and, potluck luncheons and have some fun and, with friends, family, and your distributors during the conference. So that's it, Karen. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful job. And if everyone would like to unmute yourself and say goodbye, this would be a good time to do that. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Goodbye.
In Orlando.
Have a great week.
Orlando.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you so much, Karen. You're awesome.
Great job, Karen.
Good job. Thanks, Gregory.
Thank you, Gregory, for sharing your wife yesterday.
Robin.
My first preferred customer. Woohoo!
Thanks, everybody.
I learned a lot. Thank you.